we get on this ship and then I can't get on at all. Y'all know I gotta report every little thing to Instagram. I gotta make a public service announcement. Southwest, not Spirit. Let me tell y'all about this flight. Y'all gotta hear this book. Hurry up, log in. So the first thing that irritated me this morning, because I be trying to watch the devil, how he be putting little things in my way to irritate me. So the first thing was, they had me and my husband in separate seats. So now we bought tickets together, but we got separate seats. So they gonna put my husband next to the big booty, smelling all good, looking all good. They gonna put me trying to put my black in the back of the bus. Gonna put the two light skins in the front. So I said, hold on. That's not his wife. I'm his wife. Somebody better get me a seat or it's gonna be problems. That's Journey's word. It's gonna be a big problem. Anyway, they got me a seat, but let me tell you how the devil was ready for my black card. It acted ghetto on Southwest Airlines. Okay, let me tell you how the devil was ready for my... Soon as me and my husband sit next to the lady, to the Karen, her name was Karen, it was Karen, okay, y'all? She starts coughing profusely. Did she not, babe? This coughing and coughing and coughing, she ain't even covering up her mouth, y'all. You know how angry I get when somebody cough and don't cover up their mouth in today's society? This how the devil, he said, oh, you thought you should have left your seat how it was. Girl, I'm trying to save him and I done damn near let the Karen lady, but she wasn't ready for me though. I said, oh, you want to play? Do you want to play with me? I waited till that plane got up in the air. This gonna be a story, y'all. Y'all not gonna believe. I want y'all to be knowing how the devil be playing with me. Whole time I'm talking to God, so I don't do too much. But I'm letting God know, God, you know I ain't going for this. You know I'm not gonna go for this, because sometimes we don't gotta go for it.
The internet did not expect vacation vibes, but what it got was straight up mystery, chaos, and something ain't right energy that had everybody leaning closer to their screens like they just heard a secret they weren't supposed to hear. Because out of nowhere, Karlissa Saffold drops a statement that instantly flips the mood from tropical getaway to full-blown suspense thriller. And no, this wasn't your usual "my flight got delayed" complaint. Nope, this was different. This was the kind of energy that makes people pause mid-scroll and go, wait, why does this feel like the beginning of a horror movie where nobody realizes what's happening yet? Because when she said something felt OFF, the internet didn't take that lightly. Now imagine the sun, vacation views, relaxation, peace, right, wrong? Because according to Karlissa Saffold, things haven't been smooth at all. Strange moments, weird occurrences, bad luck stacking up like somebody hit her storyline with a glitch and forgot to fix it. And the way she said it, not joking, not casual, but serious enough to make people start connecting dots immediately. And you already know the internet doesn't just hear something like that and move on. Oh no, they zoom in, they analyze. They replay every word like it's a clue in a mystery. They're determined to solve, because when someone like her says something's off, people start asking questions. Is it just bad luck? Or is it something deeper? Because here's the thing, this didn't happen in isolation. This is happening in the middle of ongoing tension, ongoing drama, and ongoing conversations that have already had the internet on edge. So now, people aren't just looking at her vacation, they're looking at everything connected to it. And suddenly, a simple trip turns into something way more complicated. Because if what she's experiencing isn't just coincidence, let's rewind this situation for a second. Because what we're seeing right now didn't just randomly happen like a bad travel day. It feels like something that's been building quietly in the background. Karlissa Saffold has never been someone who just posts for no reason. So the moment she started talking about things feeling off, people immediately knew this wasn't just about a ruined vacation mood. This is someone who's already been in the middle of non-stop drama, tension, and public conversations that never really settle down. So when she finally steps away for a vacation, you'd expect peace, right? A break from everything. But instead, it's like the chaos followed her, packed its bags, and checked into the same hotel. And that's what made fans start paying attention, because it wasn't just one thing she mentioned, it was a pattern. Small incidents stacking up, little moments that didn't feel normal, situations that just didn't sit right. And when you hear bad luck once, you brush it off. But when it keeps happening, that's when people start raising eyebrows. Meanwhile, the internet didn't waste a second jumping in. People started speculating immediately, trying to figure out what exactly she meant. Was it travel issues? Was it random inconveniences? Or was she hinting at something deeper without saying it directly? Because let's be real, sometimes people don't say everything out loud, but the tone says enough. And the tone, it wasn't giving "I spilled my drink" energy. It was giving "something weird keeps happening and I don't like it" energy, the kind that makes you double-check your surroundings, rethink your day, and start questioning if everything is really just coincidence. At the same time, fans started connecting this moment to everything else going on around her, because in a situation filled with ongoing tension, public drama, and unresolved issues, nothing feels isolated anymore. Every little thing starts to look like it could be part of a bigger picture. And that's when the theories started rolling in. People asking if this bad luck was really just random, or if it had something to do with the energy surrounding her lately, because the internet loves to connect dots even when those dots don't come with clear answers. Now here's where it gets even more interesting, because instead of ignoring it or brushing it off, Karlissa Saffold kept talking about it. Not in a dramatic way, not overly detailed, but just enough to keep people wondering, just enough to make it feel real. And that's what pulled everyone in. Because when something feels slightly mysterious, but not fully explained, it becomes impossible to ignore. People start watching more closely, listening more carefully, and analyzing every word like it might reveal something hidden. At this point, it wasn't just about a vacation anymore. It turned into a storyline, something unfolding in real time, with viewers trying to figure out what's actually happening beneath the surface. And the more people watched, the more it started to feel like this wasn't just bad luck. And the moment that idea hit the internet that this might not be just bad luck, everything went into overdrive. Because now people weren't just listening, they were investigating. Every word from Karlissa Saffold got replayed, slowed down, and analyzed like it was a hidden clue in a mystery nobody fully understood yet. Suddenly, timelines were flooded with theories. Some people said it was just normal travel chaos being exaggerated, while others were like, nah, this feels different. Because the way she described it didn't sound like random inconvenience, it sounded like a pattern. And once the word pattern enters the chat, you already know the internet is about to go wild. Then came the comparisons, because you know the internet can't resist turning everything into something bigger. People started saying this felt like reality show drama leaking into real life, like a Zeus Network episode where something strange keeps happening behind the scenes and nobody can explain why. And of course, memes showed up right on time. People joking about bad energy, vacation curse, and someone forgot to reset the storyline. But underneath the humor, there was still that lingering question: why did this feel so serious coming from Karlissa Saffold? Meanwhile, her name started trending again, not just for drama but for mystery. And in today's internet world, mystery hits different, because when people don't have answers, they start creating them. And let me tell you, the theories got wild. Some fans started linking this to everything happening around her lately, saying the energy surrounding her hasn't been calm at all. Others said maybe she was just speaking emotionally in the moment, and people were reading too deep into it. But the more clips circulated, the harder it was to ignore the tone in her voice. And then came the breakdown videos. Oh yes, the pause, zoom, analyze crowd showed up. They started pointing out details people missed the first time. The way she phrased things, the pauses between her words, the expressions that didn't match a normal vacation complaint. At this point, it stopped being a simple situation. It turned into a conversation that felt layered, complicated, and slightly unsettling because nobody could say for sure what she meant. But everybody agreed something felt off. And here's the twist: the more people talked about it, the more attention it got. The more attention it got, the more pressure built. And the more pressure built, the more people expected something else to happen. Because let's be honest, when a story starts like this, it never ends quietly, and the audience completely locked in, watching, waiting, refreshing timelines like they're expecting the next piece of the puzzle to drop any second. Because now it's not just about what she said, it's about what might happen next. And just when everyone thought they had this situation figured out, the entire energy shifted again. But this time it didn't feel loud or chaotic, it felt quiet, heavy, and honestly a little unsettling. Because now the conversation wasn't just about what Karlissa Saffold said, it was about what it meant in the bigger picture. The internet started slowing down its reactions and leaning more into observation. People weren't just laughing, posting memes, or throwing out quick opinions anymore. They were watching closely, like something important was about to reveal itself if they paid enough attention. And that shift, that's when things go from entertainment to something deeper. Because now, every small update felt significant. Every post, every appearance, every little detail started getting analyzed like it was part of a larger puzzle. And the more people paid attention, the more they realized this situation didn't feel random anymore, it felt connected. Fans began questioning everything. Not just the bad luck, but the timing of it. Why now? Why during a moment when so much attention was already surrounding her? Was it coincidence? Or was this just another layer of a storyline that's been unfolding piece by piece in front of everyone? At the same time, emotions started getting real. What began as curiosity slowly turned into concern for some viewers. Because when someone repeatedly says something feels off, it stops sounding like a joke. It starts sounding like a signal that something isn't sitting right beneath the surface. Meanwhile, Karlissa Saffold didn't completely shut down the conversation, but she didn't fully explain it either. And that middle ground, that's what kept the mystery alive. Because when people don't get full answers, they don't move on, they dig deeper. And digging deeper is exactly what the internet did. More clips resurfaced, past moments got brought back into the spotlight. People started comparing her current tone to how she's spoken before, looking for differences, looking for clues, looking for anything that might explain what's really going on. And here's where things took a twist. Nobody expected the narrative started turning inward. Instead of just focusing on the situation, people began asking bigger questions about energy, stress, pressure, and everything that comes with constantly being in the public eye. Because let's be real, when you're always in the middle of attention, it doesn't just disappear when you go on vacation. Sometimes it follows you. Sometimes it shows up in ways you don't expect. And sometimes it makes everything feel just a little bit off. Now the audience wasn't just reacting, they were relating, sharing their own experiences, their own moments where things didn't feel right, where everything seemed normal on the outside but weird underneath. And suddenly, this situation became more than just celebrity drama, it became something people connected to. But even with all that, the mystery didn't go away. If anything, it got stronger. Because just when people thought they might start understanding it, small details began surfacing that didn't quite fit the narrative, moments that didn't line up perfectly, reactions that felt slightly out of sync. Nothing major, but enough to keep that feeling alive that something wasn't fully adding up. And that's when the tone shifted one final time, from curiosity to anticipation. Because now, people weren't just asking questions anymore, they were waiting for answers. Waiting for a clearer statement, a new update, or anything that could explain what's really happening. But here's the thing about situations like this. They don't always give answers when you expect them. Sometimes they build, sometimes they stretch. Sometimes they leave you sitting there, refreshing your screen, wondering if the next post is going to change everything. And right now, that's exactly where we are. Because this story didn't end with her statement. It didn't wrap up with a neat explanation. It didn't give closure. Instead, it left a feeling, a question, a sense that something bigger might still be unfolding behind the scenes. And that's what makes it so unpredictable. Because when a situation feels unfinished, it usually is. Now let's be real for a second. If you just sat through all of that like you were binge watching the craziest series ever, don't even try to act like you're not hooked. Because this right here, this isn't just vacation drama. This turned into a full-blown mystery with twists, tension, and just enough confusion to keep everybody glued to their screens. Every time you think you understand what's going on, boom, something new pops up. A new detail drops. Or the energy shifts again, like the story refuses to sit still. And you already know this isn't over. Not even close. If anything, it feels like we're right in the middle of something that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. So go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you money and just ruined your peaceful vacation. Vibes, I'm talking full force. No hesitation, because this level of chaos deserves maximum support. And don't just sit there quietly. I need your thoughts in the comments right now. Do you think it's really just bad luck? Or does something deeper feel off to you too? Because at this point, everybody's got a theory. And I already know yours is about to be interesting. Also, if you're still watching and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? You're really about to miss the next update when this whole situation takes another unexpected turn. Nah, hit that subscribe button like your timeline depends on it, because trust me, the next twist is coming when you least expect it, and when it drops. It's not going to be simple, it's not going to be predictable, and it's definitely not going to be boring. So stay locked in, stay curious, and stay ready, because this is Faint Flaws, where every story hits deeper and the drama never fades.